Welcome to Weird Real Life Stories with Gina Gayle Gray, true tales of spirit, synchronicity, and soul wisdom. I'm Gina, freedom coach, counselor, and oracle, and this is where the unexplainable finds a voice. Here we tell stories that don't fit inside logic, stories like messages from the beyond, mystical encounters with nature, and moments so wild they make you question everything, and yet feel more real than anything else. These are the stories that expand your mind, open your heart, and remind you that the invisible threads are always working in your favor. If you've ever felt something, seen something, or just known something others couldn't explain, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're connected. This is your safe space to trust what you feel, speak what you know, and remember who you truly are. Let's begin.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat, and boy, do we have a great show for you. This episode is called The Circle Appears, when the unseen leaves a mark that cannot be explained. So take a moment with me, take a journey with me, and Gina Gayle is going to walk us through the many, many, many weird things that happen for both of us. But if you hold on for 1 minute, something strange appeared in the backyard. A perfect circle in the grass. No cause, no explanation, no logical reason to be there. But the mystery didn't end there. What if that happened to you? What if you weren't under some vortex or someplace in some remote country where things like this happen? Maybe Chile. You weren't in Chile. But what if this happens? How will you embrace it? Will you think it's weird? Will you try to explain it away? Will you do what I did and walk outside and realize it was a perfect, absolutely untouched, unburned circle in the backyard of my friend's mom's house? What do you do? What do you know? And are you ready to open yourself up? That's what Gina Gayle Gray is all about. That's what she helps people understand. Or do you run away scared? What would you do? Gina Gayle, amazing, right? That's just one little story I shared with you, right?
It is amazing. And the next question is, what happens after the weird thing happens? And that's what we're going to do in this show. We're going to share these weird stories that are real life, cannot be explained away. They are mysterious and they are miraculous.
Yeah.
And if we stay with them and we ask more questions and we become very curious, what we find is that we're actually always in communication with angels, animals, aliens, ancestors. All those energetic beings are there. They're right there in the spirit world. The spirit world is right next to our tangible world. And the time is now to start opening up. I want to share my own stories because I have a pile of stories, and I know you do too. And most importantly, everyone does.
Yeah.
And people have been ridiculed. They've been shut down. They've been dismissed. They've been told all kinds of lies about the reality of these experiences. So we're going to create this safe space for people to come and tell us everything that's happened to them or anything that's happened to them. As your host, I'm going to open the doorway to the unexplainable. I'm going to guide you into that mysterious space where the physical and the spiritual worlds meet. And there's a bridge between those two worlds. And I have come to learn that I am a bridge builder. So I can spend time on both sides of that bridge, and I can actually connect people to their own bridge to the other side. So how much fun does that sound like?
Right before we got on, I shared a story with you, and I want to share it because sometimes people think it has to be, what do we call them? A crop circle. Linda's mom, I believe, was one of the most in touch people, her mom and my stepmom. So we're in a home now where Joan's presence is everywhere, everywhere. The chair I'm sitting in, right? So I asked for a sign this morning. It was a very emotional day for both Linda and I, so many things. And I asked for a sign about something. And I got up from my last show and I went to walk out of the room. And on the floor was a single penny heads up. And I got to tell you, Linda's mom, Joan, was all about those penny heads up. She would never let you walk down the street. If you didn't pick that penny up, it didn't matter if it was muddy, if it was snowing, if it was dog poop. You had to pick the penny up. You see, if we're not awake and aware, and I just smiled and I said, "Thank you, Joan." Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Why don't you take it from here for a minute?
But that is exactly how it is, and how it should be, because this kind of communication is always happening between the physical and the spiritual worlds. We're always receiving messages from angels, aliens, animals, ancestors, all of these beings, always, and in all ways, is one of the things that my son Spencer wrote over and over in his book. So, weird is real, and it's calling us to listen. And this is the thing. It's so lovely that these spirits are stepping in and inviting us to listen to the things that we think are in our imagination, much more important than just the spoken word. The spoken word's important too, but the unspoken word, those miraculous messages that are always coming to us, the the art of listening. Think about communication between people, and how broken it is, how few people truly listen to each other. And if we're not listening to each other, we are not hearing each other. And one of the messages that my son Spencer gave me in the form of what I call a spinspiration, he published 70 of those. So they're very interesting messages from him, from the spirit side. And the difference between, he said, everyone needs to be listened to and deserves to be heard. Listening and hearing are not the same thing. So to connect with spirit and hear the spiritual messages, we must first listen. And you listen to Joan, and you've been listening to her in this form for how long?
50 years. 50 years.
So you didn't even have to be in the same room with her to have a communication with her.
No, no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. When I first met Joan, I was young. Linda and I met at the phone company, and she did not want to move to Texas. So I had to meet her mom before we can share an apartment. I don't come from a middle class family, but Linda did. And I walked into Joan's house and I was broken, Gina Gayle. I was a kid that never lifted my head up ever. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to look you in the eye. I couldn't stand the pain of what I thought you would see. And I walked into Joan's house and she wore these big glasses to see, piercing blue eyes, amazing. And I walked in and Linda introduced me and I shook her hand and she said to me, "Young lady, if you're going to come in my house and I'm going to meet you, I want to look in your eyes and I want you to look in my eyes and I want you to lift your head up and never, ever put your head down again." I never did.
Wow.
That was Joan.
Yeah. And that medicine, that kind of medicine, just immediately knowing what you needed to hear and how that message could help you, and how she could communicate that to you in a very precious way, and you still acknowledge that. You still have that communication with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I don't, let me tell you how she does it. We're sitting there one day, and Linda and I are having some kind of, I don't know what, but obviously a disagreement. Joan gave me two dragon lamps, beautiful hand carved dragon lamps, right? That was her gift to me. They were in another room. And all of a sudden, we heard a crash, and we both got up. First of all, it stopped, whatever was going on. We both got up. The dragon lamp somehow miraculously jumped off the dresser onto the floor, and not a piece got broken. Now you tell me, was that Joan? Yeah.
My answer would be absolutely.
Oh, you got it.
And
Eh,
it's amazing. Now, is she in the spirit world now?
yes.
Yeah. How long had she been?
She had been in the spirit world then.
Okay. Okay.
I think it was soon after, too. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and she knew the symbolism of that. To have no doubt that you would get the message, and she would make her point just like she did when she first met you, and encouraged you to hold your chin up and be your true highest self. Um, I want to take a moment. I actually I have a little excerpt from Dr. Pat's bio, because even though this is your network, and
It's
but this
okay.
is this is my show, and you are my
Yes, it
guest
is.
on my show, and I want people to know who don't know. I want people to know the Dr. Pat that I know, that I've had the privilege of knowing for a few years, and I know now. She's actually a leader in the field of human potential, and she's the host of her own show, the Dr. Pat Show. The Dr. Pat Show is internationally acclaimed and reaches millions of people every year with powerful, life-changing messages. So her newly upgraded TTR is now Transformation Talk Reveal Ocean, where her mission is to educate, inspire, activate, and transform. And that she does, with so many people who tune in and listen and learn from her and others. So, Dr. Pat, I want to thank you for being that beautiful messenger. All that you do to uplift humanity, it's part of who you are.
Mm,
And you're always transforming, right? We continue to grow, we continue to transform.
yeah.
And you started the story whenever I was on your show introducing this show. So you gave us just that little preview of there's more. What happens after the weird thing happens? So Joan called you over. There's a perfect circle in the grass in the backyard, no explanation. How long did that circle stay there?
I believe it stayed there. I know it stayed there overnight. It may have stayed there 2 or 3 days, from what I recall. Um, it was a phenomenon. And people were trying to figure out who cut the grass. I mean, come on now, who cut the? Nobody cut the grass, right? And why aren't there any burn marks? Oh, okay, no burn marks. I mean, but Joan and I knew, we knew, and Linda knew. We never questioned it. We never questioned it. We didn't doubt, but we knew it wasn't man made. We
Yeah.
knew it wasn't man made, meaning somebody didn't come over in the middle of the night in the dark. Hello. She lived in a place that had no street lights.
Okay.
So you're not, and it was very big. It was big. Joan was on about 4 acres, and this thing took up at least a quarter of the yard,
Wow.
right?
So, how did you play with that? Did you go out? Did you stand in the circle? Did you
I
step
did.
into the circle? Did you?
I did.
So you did. You stepped into the circle, because the symbolism of circles. I recently learned a lot about the stone circles and the symbolism of circles, and especially women gathering in a circle. And I'm talking about all the new information that's now available about Avalon. So what did you do in your special circle that was laid right there in your path for you?
You know what's interesting? Since the last time I talked, I reflected upon this. Later on in life, I would be connected with Sidonia Cahill, who wrote one of the first books on ceremonial circles. She became my mentor. I went with her on Vision Quest. But since you and I spoke, I realized when I went in the circle, I went in the circle from the east,
Okay.
just like indigenous people do. And the energy field, you know, I think it changed me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to, I'm not explaining myself very well, so I may need your help here. I think it changed me.
You felt something,
I felt something.
and that's on a vibrational level, on an energy level,
Yep,
right?
on an energy level, vibrational level. Um, you know, this is why when people have these experiences, it's very difficult to explain them to the average person, especially an investigator, because you're trying to find human words for something that didn't feel that way.
Right, right. Languaging it with our primitive language. We think we're so clever, but our language is actually it's not capable of explaining. But we are getting better because more people are having these energetic experiences and are able to connect with not the mind. The ego wants to language it. The ego wants to explain it. And what happens is it ends up explaining it away. And then it becomes, that's not real. That didn't really happen. But when you connect to the emotional aspect of that, just like with dreams, what did that feel like? What was the emotion you were experiencing when you were in that moment?
I will tell you, it was a sense of freedom that I can't explain. And you know what's so interesting about it? Joan accepted it into her land. Do you know what I mean? There are some people where that could happen where if you own a house, they're like, honey, get out there, cut the grass, chop it up. Whatever people do, I don't know. But nope, Joan was like, there it is. Thank you. But I had to step into, I had to. And Linda felt the same way. And the family left it there. They left it there until it didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was ever the same. I mean, if you
I
ask
doubt.
me, show me proof,
Yeah.
show me evidence, I don't know.
No, this is a common occurrence. A lot of people are actually feeling the energy of what humanity's going through, and what Mama Gaia, the planet that we're on, she is going through this. We're all going through an upgrade, and different people are more aware of it than others. And not all of the symptoms, not all of the experiences are pleasant. So there's another reason that it behooves us to get educated about what is really going on, because there is so much more going on in this world of mystery and fascination. And it's a better entertainment than the entertainment that we've been plugged into for all of these years, right?
It was like a download of silent messages. I help me out with this because I know I'm not finding the words, but it was this moment. It was so rare, you know. It was this beautiful moment, a fascinating silent message, a feeling that something divine had landed.
Divine. Yes. And divinity, divine messages are very hard to, we remember them though. Our soul speaks that language. And when our soul hears a message that is familiar to the soul, it is familiar. And the time has come for us to go ahead and dig into that and spend more time. Find the people. There's more people who can guide on these explorations. Very likely what you stepped into was a portal Okay, a portal, an opening, a doorway. To where? If I'm going to step in a portal and I'm going to have an experience, I'm going to go back. I want to know where are we going? I'm not going to just, blindly step in a portal and possibly disappear, but they're everywhere. And these other worlds that we've possibly had lifetimes in these worlds, it's all coming into a merge. We are connecting with these. The elementals are the beings that live within the earth, the fairy people, the leprechauns, the cute little tiny ones, maybe the elves, maybe they're mischievous. All of those, and they show up in animals. And it's really a fun exploration to go play because it is time to play. The heart, I was told by my son Spencer again, that the heart chakra, we have it all wrong. He said, I want you to look at your heart chakra as your playground. And why? Why have so many of us shut down our heart chakras? And why are we not playing in that place of love anymore? And he said that what they see from the spirit side, what they see looking at those of us who have closed off our heart space, is we're standing outside the playground, that someone's put up a fence and a gate and a lock, but we have the key. We're standing outside looking at all the people playing in their heart space, and we're standing outside choosing not to go in. I'm too old. I don't have time for that. Let's be serious. I've got work to do. No, he said, open that door, get back on the playground, start being in joy in your life. So I know you are a woman who is full of joy. It just exudes from you. So this is how we're going to move into this
Yeah.
realm, this mysterious realm where the fun is and where the joy lifts us up, right? Isn't that a
Yeah,
good place to play?
let me give you the latest. We're flying. Very emotional moving across the country. Even for Linda. Linda's by the window and we're flying and we get above the clouds and we're getting closer to the East Coast. This has never happened before for either one of us. And all of a sudden, Linda looks out and says, look at the rainbow. We're literally in the rainbow. We're in the rainbow.
Now, who can say
And
that?
Linda said, we're
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
rainbow.
yeah, yeah.
And we were in the rainbow. And I don't know how to, the rainbow would look out the window and the rainbow was flying with us until we descended. Now you explain that.
That's that is incredibly exciting. That is, and I don't know how many people can say that they have actually had that experience. You're in a plane and you're actually flying in a rainbow.
Rainbow.
So thank you for sharing that, because that is the kind of story. This is the kind of information I want people to stop dismissing and just writing it off and forgetting about it because they grab their tablet or their phone or their computer or their these mundane, watch the news. My goodness, stop it. Stop.
Now, if I would have said that, everybody around me say that's just you. But Linda, my triple Virgo, the practical best friend, is like, do you see the rainbow? We're in the rainbow. And this went on
Yeah,
until the pilot descended
yeah,
into the clouds. I
yeah,
don't know where the rainbow came from.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. These are this is what I want. This is what I want to hear from others, and I want to do the work with others to walk you through. Ask another question, go another layer. Let's start talking about what these weird stories are that can't be explained away. So anyone listening, if you've had a moment where something, felt someone, and you didn't tell anybody because you were going to sound crazy, this is the show for you. Come and share your stories with us. We're all going to come out of the spiritual closet together. We're going to walk through, if you saw the Narnia movies where they walk into the wardrobe, when they walk out the backside of the wardrobe, they're in a different world, right? So let's walk through that wardrobe into that mystical reality that is accessible to us And we'll do it with wonder and wisdom and a whole lot of weird.
I knew from that day in the circle, everything that I would do in life, everything, whether it was up or down, would be in divine right order. Even to this moment, in talking to you the other day, it was a reminder from Joan that did not change. Remember, Pat, every single thing you do is meant for a higher purpose. And no matter what the ups and downs, remember the vibration, remember the feeling, remember what you saw in that circle, and be true to yourself.
Yeah. Because that feeling, you exude that feeling, and that's what you share with others.
Yeah.
So,
To me.
yes, let's find our way to each other in this space where we can feel that higher vibration and have more fun while we're at it.
I was a very different person before that day. Pretty crazy.
That
That's
is.
another show. That's another show.
That's exciting. Yes, on our next show. So in 2 weeks, we're going to be together again, and I'm going to share the continuation of my weird real life story with a special moth that came and visited me. And moths are messengers of transformation. So how coincidental is that?
Amazing. Thank you for all you're doing. You know,
Thank
my
you.
mom got locked up in an institution because she shared what she saw, my birth mom.
Wow.
If she were here today, she'd be sitting right next to you, sharing what she had seen, what she believed. Today, we cannot have people like us locked up anymore.
No, we have too much to say.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for walking through the mystery with me on Weird Real Life Stories. I hope today's story stirred something sacred in you, something that reminds you your experiences matter, even the ones you can't explain. If your soul whispered yes at any point, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And be sure to tune in every first and third Wednesday at noon Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio for more true tales of spirit, synchronicity, and soul wisdom. To explore my holistic coaching, retreats, or tools for healing mind, body, and soul, visit anywheremindbodysoul.com. And if you're ready to go even deeper, my channeled book with my son Spencer, Listen to the Silence, Messages and Miracles from Spencer Who Never Spoke Words, is waiting for you at listentothesilence.org. You're not crazy, you're connected, and the story is just beginning.